You're standing under the shower, the water scalding hot, but you feel nothing. Why? Because right now you're not in your bathroom. You're on a huge stage, delivering a speech that moves thousands to tears. Or maybe you're in your car, finally shouting the perfect, powerful response to your boss about the meeting 3 weeks ago. Every word is perfect. Every pause is powerful. But then suddenly, a car horn blares. The stage disappears. The crowd vanishes. And you just sit there, alone in the traffic, with the look of someone who's just lost an entire kingdom. Welcome to the invisible room. It's time we talked about where you actually go when you disappear. Admit it, you were there. The moment when the reality around you suddenly faded, giving way to a perfect scenario unfolding in your mind. It could be a romantic confession you never had the courage to make, or a heated argument where you held the upper hand. In that world, you're smarter, more decisive, and most importantly, you're in control. You can rewind, edit, and savor the feeling of victory that real life rarely offers. Yet when the sound of flushing toilets or blaring car horns pulls you back, a strange sense of emptiness washes over you. Have you ever wondered why we waste so much energy, our most intense emotions, on people who aren't even there? Why does the brain choose to abandon reality, to live in a ghost of imagination? This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a complex psychological mechanism, an escape route your soul has built for itself. And today, we will step through that door together to find the answer. Most people think they know what daydreaming is. They think it is a brief flicker of a holiday or a winning lottery ticket while waiting for the kettle to boil. But for you, this is different. This is not a visit. This is a residence. You see, a normal daydream is a postcard. But what you have built is an entire empire. Inside your mind, there is a consistent world with its own geography, its own history, and its own laws. There are characters you have known for years. You have watched them grow, fail, and triumph. You have shared secrets with them that no living soul in your actual life will ever hear. This is the moment where curiosity turns into a strange kind of realization. While the person sitting next to you on the bus sees a gray, rainy street, you are witnessing a sunset over a city that does not exist. While the real world feels thin, flat, and strangely quiet, your inner world is loud, vibrant, and bleeding with emotion. It is a terrifyingly beautiful contrast. Reality asks you to be patient, to be bored, and to handle the messy uncertainty of other people. But inside the colors are deeper. The stakes are higher, and every single moment has a purpose. You are not just passing the time. You are living a second life in the shadows of the first. And the most shocking part? You might be starting to prefer the shadow over the sun. So what is actually happening behind your eyes? To understand this, we have to look at a specific circuit in your brain called the default mode network, or the DMN. Think of it as your brain's internal studio. Most of the time, when you are focusing on a task, like cooking or reading, your brain is engaged with the outside world. But the moment you stop paying attention, the DMN flips a switch. It lights up. This network is designed to handle you. It processes your past, your identity, and your future. It is the architect of your memories and your fantasies. But here is where it gets dangerous. For most people, the DMN is just a background hum. For you, it has become the main broadcast. Your brain has discovered a shortcut to happiness. In the real world, if you want to feel loved or respected or powerful, you have to work for it. You have to take risks. You have to face the possibility of rejection. But in the internal studio of your DMN, the reward is instant. Every time you play out a scenario where you are the hero, or where you are finally understood, your brain releases a hit of dopamine. It is fast, it is intense, and most importantly, it is safe. Your brain is a master of efficiency. Why would it choose the messy, slow, and unpredictable reality of the outside world when it can manufacture a perfect emotional high right here? You are not just thinking. You are feeding a biological loop that has learned to prefer the simulation over the truth. Your brain has quite literally programmed you for a beautiful, lonely solitude. In 2002, Professor Eli Summer looked at this phenomenon and gave it a name that sounds cold and clinical: maladaptive daydreaming. But behind that scientific label lies a very human story. You see, people do not just build these worlds because they are bored. They build them because at some point in their lives, the real world failed them. Think back. Was there a time when your environment felt unsafe? Perhaps you were a child who was lonely in a house full of people. Or maybe you were just born with a heart that was a little too sensitive for the jagged edges of reality. For a nervous system under pressure, these fantasies are not a problem. They are a brilliant, creative solution. They are an escape hatch. In your mind, you hold the remote control. In the real world, people are messy. They walk away without explaining why. They hurt you by mistake. They leave sentences unfinished. But in your internal world, you can rewind the tape. You can edit the dialogue until it is perfect. You can force that one person to finally, truly understand your pain. This is the ultimate safety. It is a place where connection exists without the terrifying risk of rejection. You have created a laboratory for your emotions, where you can feel everything intensely, but on your own terms. You are not running away from life. You are running toward a version of life where you finally have the power to be seen, exactly as you are. But eventually, the credits must roll. You open your eyes, and for a split second, there is a heavy, nameless silence. It is what I call the emotional aftertaste. You were just a hero, a lover, or a survivor. And now you are just someone staring at a half-eaten sandwich or a pile of laundry that still needs folding. The transition is brutal. It feels like stepping out of a warm, bright house into a freezing rain. And that is when the voice starts. The one that whispers about the 30 minutes, the hour, or the entire afternoon that just vanished into thin air. You look at the clock and feel a sharp, cold sting in your chest. That is shame. You feel foolish for talking to people who are not there. You feel guilty for neglecting the life that is actually happening in front of you. But here is the cruelest part of the trap. Shame is a painful emotion, and what is the one place you know how to go to escape pain? Exactly. You go back inside. The shame of wasting time becomes the very fuel that drives you to waste more of it. It is a perfect, self-sustaining loop. The more you feel like a failure in reality, the more you need the success of your fantasies. You are caught in a spiral where the cure is also the poison. The world keeps moving, your friends keep growing, and you are left standing still, anchored by a secret world that offers you everything, but gives you nothing you can actually hold. If you have stayed with me until now, I want you to take a deep breath. You might feel like there is something broken inside you. You might feel like you are just a ghost haunting your own life. But I want to offer you a different truth. The fact that you can build entire civilizations with complex emotions and vivid histories, all within the silence of your own mind. That is not a flaw. That is an extraordinary capability. You are sitting on a gold mine of internal richness. The tragedy is not that you imagined so deeply. The tragedy is that somewhere along the way, you decided that this depth was only safe when it was invisible. The goal here is not to kill your imagination. We are not trying to turn you into someone who never disappears into their own head. Instead, we want to ask, what is the disappearing doing for you? Look at your favorite scenario. What does that imagined connection give you that you are not letting yourself ask for out loud? What does that version of you, the one who is brave, or loved, or heard, know that you are too afraid to live? Your daydreams are not just fantasies. They are blueprints.
They are telling you exactly what is missing from your reality. You do not need to be fixed. You just need to find a way to let that internal wealth find a safe exit. You adapted privately, in a way nobody ever saw or gave you credit for. Now, it is time to stop hiding that light. Take one small piece of that world, one tiny bit of that courage or that connection, and try to build it here.
In the messy, imperfect, but beautiful sunlight of the real world. You have lived 1,000 lives in the dark. It is time to finally live this one.